Welcome to the podcast, What's Your History Textbook Left Out? This podcast focuses on highlighting undertaught aspects of history and culture to broaden students' perspective on racial identity and develop a more holistic understanding about contemporary issues. As the next generation, developing this knowledge and awareness allows us to take action to improve our community with equity and inclusion in mind. Today, we're diving into the world of martial arts and health with a very special guest, Sahil Patel. Shahil is a seasoned practitioner of Guardian art, a Native American fighting art with roots similar to MMA and parkour. And he's also the founder of Rejuvism, a local health business. Hi Shahil, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, how are you?
Same here. I just wanted to kind of kick this off by starting with how you kind of started with your business and how that kind of got going.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for having me on the show. This business has been something that I've been working on for a really long time. The inspiration started as I was spending time on an ambulance as an EMT, kind of going through the motions of seeing the same patients again and again, wondering why they're not getting any better, and their medication list would constantly just get larger and larger. And in the past, I had my own health conditions. I used to be 300 pounds almost. I had skin conditions, hair issues, the whole nine. And through learning Ayurveda and implementing some of the wellness tactics, I was able to reverse a lot of the issues that I had, that I was facing. That inspired me because there was so many people out there that don't have the knowledge, and so I decided to try to be the very best bridge I could be to get this knowledge to the people that need it the most in my community.
And while we're on the topic of your health journey, how do you feel like Guardian Art has helped you along this way?
Honestly, it's been a huge help. I think on my confidence, the way that I show up to the world, how I was able to talk to my boss, look him in the eye. It's been amazing. As far as my health goes, in the beginning when I was starting Guardian Art, I was also just being reintroduced to Ayurveda. I probably just lost my first 50 pounds. I was really feeling good. Parkour and MMA was this dream that I had I could never do. I was always huffing and puffing. So researching, I found out that wow, there's a gym that does both of them in my backyard. Like, why am I not signed up yet? So when I signed up, I wasn't very good. I was still 250 pounds, 240 pounds. I wasn't moving, and you know what it's like. Like, we had to climb and jump and flip, and it hurts if you're not in the best shape. And so I went back to Ayurveda to learn how I could, one, eat the foods that I was eating so that I wasn't just, right? Because the American way is all about diet. You're like, 250 pounds, just don't eat. And that's not a way it's a way to lose weight, but it's not a way to lose weight in a healthy way while doing athletic high performance activities, especially when you're crashing and fighting and, taking a beating. So Ayurveda helped me get the right foods into my diet, sleeping correctly, doing the right meditation tactics so that I could fight and not tap out so quickly. It was so, the synchronicity of everything kind of flowing together was huge. And I think that was how Ayurveda tied in, to my Guardian Art journey, because that's how I got better at Guardian Art.
Definitely, yeah. I think my experience with Guardian Art's a lot the same. When I started, I kind of had a similar arc, losing weight, but then you kind of encapsulated the benefits really well. All right, moving forward, for a bit of context, Shahil and I actually went in the winter of 2021 with a bunch of the other people at this gym to the Nazan Wabanaki reservation in Maine. And I just kind of want to ask you, how did this experience kind of shape your journey?
Yeah, first off, it was very eye-opening and amazing. Maine is beautiful, so I think just being there during the October season, seeing the color change, I think was amazing. As well as being a part of the indigenous community in that area, the Wabanaki community. It was cool to see how they live. It was cool to see the challenges that they face in today's world, and then being a part of the nonprofit and giving back and having this program that they were able to be a part of, I think was amazing. It just really touched my soul. The part that was really eye-opening for me was the fact that, I mean, obviously herbal medicine is everywhere. We kind of know that, but you're just like, yeah, herbal medicine. You don't realize the similarities on all sides of the globe. They were using burdock root, which is something that is utilized in Ayurveda, is utilized in Chinese medicine. They're using different sorts of elecampane, a whole bunch of herbs being planted and utilized so that they can, heal in essence. And I thought that was really cool. Without the healing arts, I don't think any of our ancestors would have been able to, we wouldn't be here standing here, So I thought that was really cool. There's different names for everything. And I think the world today, we get so hung up on what makes us different. We forget there's more that actually makes us similar. And we're all kind of brothers and sisters. So I thought that was really cool. That was really touching.
All right, so moving on from that, I know that Maine was actually a really big turning point for me in kind of rediscovering both other cultures and kind of more about my own.
Yeah.
And I know you have a lot of unique experiences growing up here in the 90s. I just wanted to ask kind of if you want to speak on that at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, San Francisco was, I felt like the minority. I was definitely the only Indian kid in school, one other African-American kid, and we definitely always got picked on. And it was similar in here in Union City back when we moved here in 97. Probably a handful of Indian kids. And my earliest memories were like getting called Gandhi and, not exactly loving the fact that I was Indian. And so as I grew up, I didn't want to be Indian, but as I also, got into high school, I started to realize that, like, oh man, like this thing that I've hated for so long is actually what makes me very unique, and it's actually very deep, comes from thousands of years of people and plight and, people overcoming challenges. It's like the coolest thing ever to be a part of. And so ever since then, I've just been like diving into it, learning as much as I can, and it's been amazing.
Awesome, yeah. And kind of just with your experiences, what is one major takeaway that you would kind of spread to the kids nowadays?
Yeah, ask questions. I think we take for granted that we have elders around us, and they'll be gone in an instant, and you won't be able to ask your questions, won't be able to get those stories. So spend time with your parents, your grandparents, learn your culture from the people that know the culture, and like absorb as much as you can, because there's not a single book out there that can teach you what these people can teach you. And I just don't think, like, I definitely took it for granted. And if I was to, talk to any kid nowadays, I'd be like, that's what you need to focus on. Learn as much as you can from your elders so that, they have so much to tell us. There's, we got to ask questions.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to try and implement that just today now. All
Yeah.
right. All right, I think that's about what we had planned for this episode. Thank you for coming on board.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right, if anyone is interested in what Shahil had to say or wants to check out his business, please click on rejuvism.com or check out the links we have in the description. Thank you, and tune into the next episode of this podcast.
Have a good one, y'all.